Okay, so I'm returning to the Atari Lemans board. Start looking at this again. I haven't looked at it in a couple weeks. The last thing that I did was I did find one bad inverter. That didn't change much. That's what the screen looks like now. The attack plan is going to be to check this circuit, which is the coin circuit that starts the game. So I'll check, make sure all that's working. After that, I printed the whole entire manual describing how the game works, because the schematics are incomplete when you look at only the schematics. But this section that describes everything in detail with test points and everything, it looks like everything's there for it. So these pages, the synchronize and blinking, all of that's working. I have a picture. Things are synchronizing, things are blinking. I'm not seeing refresh lines. So all that's working. I'm just going to skip that, including this circuit here, which is the clock chain circuit. I don't need to look at any of that. That's all going to be good. Sound circuitry, not going to worry about that until we get the game running. Let's see, what else is there? Engine sound logic, again, that's audio. The audio amp, I know the audio amp works. Interruption from my son, sorry about that. So audio amplifier, like I was saying, I have audio, so that section's going to be good. RPM and speed amplifiers, probably haven't tested that. I don't know. I'm going to wait until I get the game running before I worry about audio. This has some speed switch. This is still just audio, isn't it? Let's see. No, this is accelerator. So that's something I'll look at eventually, but it doesn't have part numbers for these amplifiers. LM324s, I would assume there. Let's see what this is. It's weird that these pictures don't have, these are just like general block diagrams. It doesn't really show anything that I can probe with, you know, chip locations and chip part numbers. Same thing here, brake circuit. That is the speed oscillator waveform, it says. That's going to be audio related again. Here's the speed control. Now this actually has part numbers and chip locations, values for resistors and such. So that will be something I'll be looking at, you know, today hopefully. But I gotta figure out why this car, it looks like it's just going vertical. I gotta figure out what that's about. And what is this circuit? This is speed control audio. Alright, so that's audio related. I'm going to skip that until I get the game running. Let's see, what else we got here? Stop waveform and circuit. That might be something I'll look at immediately. Yeah, it's got an attract mode signal. So this page looks like something I will look at as soon as I'm done with the coin circuit. I wonder what VLD stands for. I'm not sure. Have to read all that more carefully. This is more LD, LV, VLD1 and LD1B circuit. Load 1B. That's what LD1B stands for. Okay, well, that's stuff that has to be looked at. Reset circuit, something I can look at and see if it's working proper. I don't have any way to test the steering stuff, so I'll skip that for now. See what we got here. Steering encoder, crash and playtime. And this is car crash and playtime. Okay, so playtime might be something. There's going to be, yeah, there's an oscillator there that oscillates every 1 second. So the counter is at a 1 second interval. So I need to check that, make sure that's working. What's on this page? Track selection. Yeah, take a look at that. Looks like it's got some counters in there. 7493s. And what is this? This is basic 2 to 1 in multiplexer. Just kind of generic stuff. Now it's talking about, so it's got, this is showing us how the ROMs are mapped. ROM 0 has score information, like the numbers for the score, I would assume, and what the car looks like. And routes, that would be course 9 and course 10, and the rest of the ROM 1 and ROM 2 hold the other course data. In other words, how the track looks. ROM address stuff. Yeah. I think there's something fishy with the ROM, so that's something I'm going to want to try to figure out. It looks like the track data is there, but the stuff for the oil, like these little black spots, are supposed to be oil slicks or something. I'm not sure what those are though, what those white spots are. So I need to figure out if that's a ROM data problem or some sort of logic problem causing it. This schematic here is actually in the schematics that are available online, so I've looked at all this stuff. All this has already been checked out except for the ROM data. I'm not 100% sure it's right. I mean, I'm reasonably sure that they contain data because I'm getting coarse, you know, the tracks. And this is talking about the motion and horizontal count circuit waveforms. Yep, so this stuff here is things I'll be looking at soon. Vertical car position, bam. Now that's exactly what I'm looking for. My vertical car position is constantly changing, so this circuit here I need to look at. It'll be one of the first things I'll look at. Horizontal car information, horizontal count, car motion. Yeah, that page is going to be something I need to look at. And the car display. This is interesting to me because that looks kind of like a car that's crashing. So what's up with that? I need to figure out why that is. So this circuit here I'll be looking at. Racetrack display. Okay, that's something I'm going to want to look at too, because why am I getting weird oil slick locations and those big blocks? So I'll need to look at that. Let's see what else we got. That's talking about the logic for making the checkpoints. It looks like there's only 4 checkpoints per maze, per track. And this says time and score storage. Yeah, that's something I'm going to want to look at pretty quick too. Well, that's the last page. Video summing. I know this works. This piece is working. Well, actually, oil slick, that's the dark areas. The finish line's working. You can see it in the screen up there. So finish line's working. Car video. I've got a car that looks like it's crashing all the time. So that video's that's getting there. RT is the track, I guess, the track data. And video blanking. So yeah, this circuit is working. Composite sync is working. So basically, I don't need to look at this. This is all working. All right, so I'll be back. So I've spent quite a bit of time looking at all the different circuits like I had mentioned previously. And I ended up focusing on this circuit here where it says the vertical car motion. And the counters seemed like they were correct, but I wasn't able to verify this. I mean, it could have been good, it could have been bad, couldn't tell from signals. So I've removed it and replaced it, and each one I replaced it with acted a little bit different. Some of them acted similar. And then I had one that seemed to be correct. It didn't have any vertical motion on the chip. So here's what we've got now. The map is looking great, and the car's not moving. It's stuck there. If I start the game, it resets and lines the car up on the starting line. Now I've got this ghost line here. I don't know what that is, but I think it's unrelated to these 9314s. This is a weird one. This chip here is a 9314 latch. I think I'm designed a board to replace that. I need to look and see what I did actually. If I did, then I can replace them all. But I have 2 of these boards. I have 2 of these Lemans boards, and I took every single one of the chips out. And I plugged them in one at a time, and I isolated the ones where the car didn't move at all. It could be placed randomly on the screen, or it wouldn't placed at all, but at least it wasn't moving vertically. So I isolated all those and I installed all of them on the one board. There are 4 of these chips, okay? And I removed all 4 of them and socketed them, and then I installed the ones that did the sniff test of when you plug it into this position here, which is this spot on the schematic right there for the vertical car motion. When I did that, then this is where I end up. I've got the score showing in the timer, and the car looks correct. So the other ones, these guys, all 3 of these must be bad, because if I put any one of those in, then it isn't nice. It gives different problems. So the 9314s that I installed, the 4 of them, I think they're good, but I'm not 100% sure. So if I can find some new 9314s, or if I can find the circuit board that I built to replace these, then I will do that. But that's all I'm going to have time for today, because this took a long time. I checked the start circuit, I checked the timer circuit, and I checked a bunch of other stuff. But then I finally settled on this, focusing on that, and that made a big difference. We're getting real close. It may even work now. It may play fine. But that's it for this section for this video, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you.